We've got two of the Bacchus Marsh finest. We've got the mayor of Bacchus Marsh himself, Jack Jenkins. Jack, welcome to the potty.
Thank you for having me.
Grateful, great. And then we've got the most delicious moustache I've ever seen in my life, the Strange. How are we, baby?
Good, thanks. How are you boys? Good to be here.
Mate, Strange's coming in the full setup. He's going to become an honorary member of the RIB family. I think we're going to have to give him his own show and his own segment.
That's it. The beer review.
Well, we've got the we're going to have to organise at some point on the podcast today when you boys come down to the Marsh and we do the Marsh episode. At least I would like at least two fifths or 3/5 at least of the podcast on location in the Marsh.
Oh,
if we have to leave our stat man in his crib, that's all right. We'll just get him on the Zoom. But a few of the boys down on location, the Moorabool Shire, Bacchus Marsh is beautiful setup. We'll get it happening.
Mate, as long as those curtains are in the background, I'm fucking there.
They're the best.
Love it. All right, boys, kick off the party. We thought we'd do a bit of This Is Your Life, considering we've got two of Bacchus Marsh's best, and give the listeners a little bit of a background into the boys. So talk us through, when did the boys meet?
Man, the Strang, fuck. Probably the first time we met would have been very young, but probably became good friends because I'm a few years older than Lestrang. So probably became good friends probably 5 or 6 years ago. But we went to the same schools and stuff growing up. So we always knew of each other. But as you sort of turn from a kid into an adult, the groups just sort of amalgamate together. That kind of happened with Strang's group, who's a little bit younger, and my group, who's a little bit older. The groups just sort of came together, and we've been good mates ever since. And we're as of next weekend, roommates. The roommates.
Okay.
Housemates, not roommates.
Housemates. The housemates.
You guys got bunk beds.
I reckon the first time I really got to know Jenko was grand final day, 2016 or 2015. No, AFL grand final. And yeah, at the Bulls house.
Swans versus Dogs.
Yeah, and Jenko told me to pull my head in because I was smoking inside. And since then,
why does that not surprise me? Oh, that's hilarious. Boys, what was growing up? You both born and bred in the Marsh?
Yes.
Yeah.
What was growing up in the Marsh like?
Oh,
it's good.
Perfection.
Perfection.
Nah, it was just good. Just you sort of get the best of both worlds. We're close enough to the city that you weren't sort of you didn't sort of live that isolated life. So we're close enough that you get sort of different groups hanging around and that sort of thing. And you can go in and watch the footy and that sort of stuff. And you don't sort of struggle for opportunities to try new things. But at the same time, it's got a very small town feel. So everyone knows everyone. Everyone still waves to each other and that sort of thing. So I loved it. Always just carrying on, riding around on the bike, causing trouble with me brothers and me mates. It was good.
The Strange, what about you, baby?
Yeah, I've loved it as well. I think both of us, if we hadn't loved it, we would have left by now and still hanging around. So yeah, it's good. We're like fucking real close with our mates and stuff still that we grew up with. And yeah, not much reason to leave really. Yeah.
I can't wait to bloody visit. I've told you boys a couple of times, I drove past the sign about 40 billion times on the way to a couple of store visits for work and stuff. And I think, can't wait to get
it's just got to have a different feel now that we've been running the Marsh Boys chat. It's got to have a different feel when you drive past. Yeah. It would almost feel like coming home for you.
Oh, mate, well, to be honest, from a small country town myself, boys, little town called Warhope in New South Wales. And I just feel like it'll have the same vibe. We'll get there and just feel like it's home. Is there a river in Bacchus Marsh?
Yes,
3.
Three.
Quite a few, but
we only had one growing up. Jesus, got left out, didn't we?
What is it? The Lurderderg, the Werribee, and
the Parwin.
And the Parwin.
Yeah,
so,
mate. Snags can't wait to come home, boys.
You got to make sure you got to go first exit. That's the fucking perfect entrance.
Yeah,
there's like 3
exits
to Bacchus. You got to go the first Avenue of Honour, trees.
Trees.
Market Garden.
Still gets
Gardens.
Yeah.
Shout out to the sponsor, Tripod Farmers. They help me out along the road. If you look on the right-hand side, all the farms, that's one of my major sponsors. They've been helping out with the career.
Little shout. Boys, any sport growing up? Jack, obviously, before you got into fighting, any junior sports?
Yeah, so I played. I had a pretty illustrious career in the under-12 reserves at the Cobras. I couldn't crack the seniors, so I had enough of that, and I stopped playing footy. And then I swapped over to rugby, where I played a few years of rugby.
Oh, fuck.
And then
Oh, the knock at the door. Oh, here we go. So, boys, we're gonna quickly cut Jank off. We've got a special Snags sent a special surprise. I asked ways away. I asked the person who delivered it to knock 3 times and yell "Fillet of fish for life." I don't know if they did it. Mate,
is it an Uber delivery of an actual fillet of fish?
Yeah, we got it. I had to bulk up the order.
Fucking hell.
Mate, I hope you haven't had dinner because I had to load that bad boy up.
I have actually.
Do you want to talk to the boys what you got in that bloody secret package there?
It's secret package. What is it? Medium chips.
Oh, yep, nice.
Yeah.
You cheap cunt, Snags. You couldn't go the large.
Oh, fuck. Got one with pieces. Don't eat chicken, but that's all right.
You don't eat chicken?
Nah, 2 hash browns.
That's the fillet of fish joke, Snags. He's fucking
I didn't know you didn't eat chicken.
Pescatarian.
Oh, shit, we learned something about the Strang every day. What is chicken?
There it is.
Double fillet, baby. So
The double. Fucking
we thought for the potty mate, if you can rip in and give the boys a detailed rating out of 10. Hitting all the big topics on the potty today, but I love a double fillet. We shared a moment after the Melbourne trip. We were both going back and forth with the double A's. So, mate, get into it and let me know how you go.
There'd be a lot of people that never had the fillet of fish before.
Mate, they're not fucking living, seriously.
Yeah,
mate. There was an issue when we were trying to organise this. The Bacchus Marsh McDonald's has got very poor ratings on Google.
3 stars.
Does it?
Yeah.
It's struggled to get to a 3.
Probably a couple from me and Jenko at 3 a.m. trying to get in.
No, you can't walk through the drive.
No, you can't walk. It's just a silly concept. It's the
That's
safest way to get it.
Well, I asked boys if you're in the same spot because I was going to order double so you could both have one, but then you're like,
oh fuck.
We should have waited till they were living in the same house.
Thought it.
It's piping hot.
Piping hot.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Mate,
one of the best I've had.
Oh, look out. Out of 10.
Thanks for that, Snags. I'll get the next round.
Oh, deal. Out of 10, what are we rating it?
Fuck. I don't know. 11? Can you go that?
11? I would have taken 27 as an answer, but well done. Enjoy it, my friend. It's my personal treat to you. Anyway, Janko, so what, you switched over to, did you play rugby union or did you jump into
rugby union? And I had a pretty good junior go at rugby union, got to go overseas and play a little bit and that sort of thing. But then when I was 15, I got into the kickboxing pretty seriously. And then I sort of followed that through for a while. And then that's where it led me to MMA. But the junior sport, it was just a bit of footy and the rugby. But because all of my mates played footy, I never really left the footy club. I just stopped playing footy. So I would always be around, hanging around at the club, watching my mates play and that sort of thing. But just didn't actually pull the boots on myself.
Oh, look out. Lestrange, what about yourself? Lanky man like yourself, I can see you playing full forward, baby. Tell me.
Yeah, I actually, I play still for the Marsh at the moment.
Oh,
out of full forward, out of the cage.
Boys are going to have to get up for a match.
Yeah, so I missed training tonight. I was a bit crook, a bit cold outside for me tonight. But so yeah, seeing this potty of me smashing down a field of fish is going to go down.
Some questions, boys. We thought who better to answer some trivia questions about the Marsh than the mayor himself and the pescatarian of the Marsh. When did you go? Where did you go pescatarian, Lestrange?
I was full vegan for about 15 months.
Yeah.
And then I was just listening to the potty, just missing the fillet of fishes too much. So it's actually not far off the truth. Probably I reckon 3 months ago. No, would have been like 2 months ago. Started eating fish.
Oh, geez.
You were fucking proper vegan though too. Like you didn't make like little. It wasn't like, oh, I'm pissed, I'll have this or whatever. Yeah. You were proper vegan.
Yeah, I was pretty committed, but Snags has corrupted me.
Sorry, boys. Corrupted many people in my life. If it's only with fish, I'm okay.
Snags, you wouldn't know this. Fuck, Strang, how many kilos have you put on? So Strang's pretty skinny as it is. How many kilos have you put on since in like the last 12 months or 18 months?
Fuck. I've dropped a few again in this lockdown, but last lockdown I think I put on 15 kilos.
15.
Yeah,
Used to be skinny
Something
as
like that.
fuck, Snags.
yeah, it was almost 15 kilos, I think.
Of muscle
Working
or
hard with
fillet of
Jenko.
fishes?
Yeah, a bit of both. Nah, yeah, I was fucking pretty underweight last year and just got eating. Jenko helped me out.
Huge progress.
Oh, well, man, I'm glad you're on the fillet of fish train, mate. Maybe one too many. Don't bloody get too many into you. Snags is locked down street and he well, look, boys, that's for sure. I've got to get the training on for this grappling match coming up. So, right here, deal. Jesus, that was loud.
Boys, so how well do you know the Marsh? It sounds like you boys are going to know it pretty well. So there's 3 random questions that we've got through that we're doing through the podcast. So what we can do is we'll hit you with the first one. Who was the township of Bacchus Marsh named after? There is
Captain Bacchus.
Yeah.
He didn't even give him the multiple choice.
Captain Bacchus.
All right, question.
What's his full name?
Do you know? We'll take you to his old house when you come.
Really?
Come down. We'll take it to the blacksmith's cottage down where things used to happen down there.
Oh,
for the
William Henry.
The viewers at home, it was Captain William Henry Bacchus. And we had B, Sir Bill Marsh, and C, Captain Marsh John Bacchus were the choices. So
Sir Bill Marsh,
boys,
my kind of boy.
Boys didn't need it. So question number 2. What was the last year the Cobras won a flag?
2016.
Oh,
Was it?
what?
2016?
What year? No, was it?
What year they won it? Yeah, 2016. Oh, senior flag?
Yeah. Who are you thinking? Under 12s?
Oh, could be Messi's. It was 2016, wasn't it? Or 2017?
1974.
No, it wasn't.
No.
Oh, we got some
won it
more
4 years
info.
ago.
Your info's fucking out of ATL.
Shit. What the boys
I'll
win a
send
flag
The
couple years
choices
ago.
were 1992, 1974, and 1968.
We got the wrong details.
Hang on.
2016.
It was 2016.
Jenko, that's a bloody lovely fishing photo, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
Oh, how good is it? Hang on.
The
I'll
skin
send
skin dog best on.
Skin dog. Who's
Yeah.
Skin dog?
He's one of the boys. You'll meet
one of
him.
them.
2016.
Did you play in that game with Strang?
Nah, I didn't know. I was I don't know what I was doing. Probably on the piss.
It's too cold.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got to get back
I'm
into it.
trying to
Anyway,
find what year it was. It was
2016, I think. Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
Yeah, we've given the boys some wrong
Good
facts.
year. Good year. Yeah, but it's definitely not 1974.
Who's-
Google?
Fucking Google stitch this up. Who's the Cobras' arch rival?
Darley.
Darley.
Crossbridge rivals.
Oh, fucking dogs.
Yeah.
Ours used to be the Port Macquarie Sharks. The Pippi
Port
suckers.
Macquarie?
Oh, Port Macquarie.
Yeah.
Fuck, the Shark.
Bugger them, mate. Boy, Blues for life.
Tudball.
Go genuinely
Tudball-
almost ran for mayor last year. We had chats
Yeah,
about it.
I was upset about a couple of things going on in the community, and I was nearly going to put my hand up, Snags.
What would it take to run for men? You just got to put together a bloody.
I think you have to be a councillor first. That's what I was going to run for, like Bacchus Marsh West or whatever it was. Because you would have heard about the toxic soil that the Andrews government's dumping out here. Surely, Snags, you would have heard about it.
Mate, I'm only boys. Bit of info. Snags is only a recent Victorian.
Oh, right.
So I've only been here for how long, Deal? 9 months or something.
Not even a year.
I moved, boys. I drove into Victoria on the first day of like strict lockdown when we had curfews. That's the
You're
day
kidding.
I moved. So I had,
What a
I had
nightmare.
to ring the police and say, I'm going to be on the road. Are you going to arrest me? Because I got here at like midnight. And they're like, oh, you got your paperwork and stuff. I was like, yeah. And they're like, no, you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It was like driving into a ghost town. There was not a car. There was like 3 cars on the road. It was dead. Upcoming fight plans, I think the big one, Jenko, Everett, where boys were obviously shed many tears because we were on a plane coming to Perth to watch that fight. Then it obviously fell through because COVID.
Yeah.
What's the plans now?
Yeah, look, I haven't, the way things played out with the Rod and Justin fight, that sort of took the Justin fight off the table. Look, if I don't think Rod's record's like 4-3 right now, I think, and he's on he's 1-1 in his last 2 fights, and he lost to my teammate once. So, look, if that fight happens, then that fight happens. I'm definitely not shying away from that one. It just depends whether that's the fight that Eternal want to make. Muhammad Alavi, if his hand gets better, that's an option. He's I think he's probably the number one contender in terms of someone who's done the work. He's 6-0 and he just fought Cody Barnwell in his last fight, which was a pretty good fight. I would have liked to see it go the distance. It got stopped for an accidental headbutt, but he ended up coming away with the win. As far as it's tough because anyone else in that top 10 of the featherweights in Australia, fair play to Rod and Muhammad. Both of them said they want the fight because no one else really says they want the fight. Like it's been offered to that many people in the top 10 and we just hear, nah, don't want to fight there, or he's not fighting at featherweight anymore or whatever it is. So I think it'll probably be Alavi. But we'll see what happens. There's a few little whispers that I can't say too much about that are, that if they come to fruition, we'd all be very, very excited about. But I can't say too much about that. But as soon as we'll do a, if you boys want, we'll do a quick little Zoom fight announcement as soon as I put my name on the dotted line and you boys can break the news before anyone else.
Mate, we'd love to do that. I see Lestrange laughing in the background there as he says fruition.
Fruition,
mate.
Fruition.
If we put together a Snags' dictionary, there's that many of them throughout the podcast. And fruition, several was one that I originally thought was just another word for seven for a while.
What about you boys? What would you like to see as my next go? What are you thinking?
Oh, look, we were super keen for JVH, obviously.
Honestly, JVH, the build up around the JVH fight, I think that would have been good for Australian MMA. It would have been good for me, and it would have been good for Justin. That fight's not on the table anymore. That's behind both of us.
Yeah,
so wish him all the best. I hope he recovers. He had a few tough weight cuts in a row. I hope he's got a family and a little kid at home now. So I've got no animosity towards Justin. It is what it is. It's, he was in front of me and that was what it was. And he's not in front of me anymore. So wish him all the best.
Oh, mate, that was the boys were super pumped to see that highlight reel and kind of lead up to that fight.
It would have been fun.
The best part of that was I'll come back for me fucking jacket later.
Come back for me jacket.
I reckon the fight against Muhammad would probably be the one that I would pick. Deal, you got anything, Costa, or what are you thinking?
No, I'd love to see Jack on season 5 of Dana White's Contender Series. That's what I'd love.
Yeah, the Contender would be the one. I think it probably, if I'm just being completely honest, I think at 7-2, you probably have to have, something huge behind you to be able to get the call up. If I was in America, I think it would be different. But with the quarantine factor and the COVID and all that sort of stuff, I think you really have to be busting their door down. And I think a good example of that is Jack Dalla, who's got signed. He's 9 fights in a row, defending eternal welterweight champion. But he's also, his last sort of 4 performances were all just super impressive, like really impressive fights. So, maybe if I get to, 8-2, and then it'll be 3 finishes in a row. And I think another finish, I think the Diego fight showed that I, a lot of skills that I have. The Jesse fight was really sort of icing on the cake. I think that was a highlight reel finish. If I can get one more highlight reel finish, go out there and maybe put on a little bit more of, I'd like to show my striking a little bit more. My earlier fights, I showed a lot of grappling. I'd like to continue the role I've been on with me striking. I think that'll be enough to get me in the Contender, or, if the UFC manages to come to this side of the world anytime next year, then we'll be on.
Man, the boys would be super pumped about it. Lestrange, what's in the footy land for you, mate? What's the upcoming matches? Talk to the boys because we're going to get up and watch one.
Yeah. Good question. I don't know.
Would have found out if you went to training spot.
Yeah. We're not playing at the moment, so I think we've got this weekend off, and then got a feeling we've got Sunbury.
What are the boys sitting on at the moment in the ladder?
The ones are doing all right. They'd be third, I reckon.
Yeah.
Doing pretty well. A bit of a shaky start, but they're back now. Got a few big recruits. And then 2's.
We've got to do it on the road, Snags.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're good at the snake. We're good at the snake pit. We need to get it right on the road.
Fuck me, that's the best. Oh Jesus. Boys, probably the second biggest in the Australian scene at the moment. It's coming up fight. I don't know if you boys have heard about it, but it's Snags versus Stoney. And we've got a good match coming up.
I've heard.
We put a poll up on the old stories the other week, and the boys have done me dirty, okay? DL, the producer, Stoney's obviously voted for himself, and Statman have all polled up and said Stoney would get the win. Bloke with zero cardio, probably 2 classes out of his weight class he should be in, and no grappling experience against this absolute beast over here. So, boys, I need a bit of support, and I'm going to reach out and ask: is it okay if both of you, the Marsh boys, corner me for the fight?
Absolutely.
100%.
And check what I voted on that story as well.
I did. I saw you're one of the only ones. I do appreciate it. That's what
Yeah, I definitely voted the Snags too on that one.
So boys, we're going to tee up a venue. I think Janko's going to help us out with that. And
yeah, I'll sort the venue out. We'll get the live stream happening for that. We could even probably maybe get maybe 2 or 3 undercard grappling matches.
Hello, here we go.
Surely
a couple of the Marsh boys want to fight.
Yeah, we could get a few undercard, maybe like a Marsh boy versus someone else. Then we could get maybe. Is there any other podcasts like that we could get like another podcast versus podcast type role happening?
Yeah, Frank, not Dylan down here.
Yeah, we've got a boy that's pretty keen to corner Stoney. Actually, we'll get him on the undercard.
All right, let's do it. Let's talk details off air, but
yeah,
we'll get a bit of a live stream happening.
We'll have to get Lestrange grappling match as well. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Would be going in 2-0. Lestrange after it. Start calling us the Bash Brothers.
2-0, straight to Smith Street fillet of fish.
Oh, give it to me.
So Stoney's called for nothing below the waist too, because he's coming off a recent.
See, that just shows that weak mentality, man. That's just he's already looking for a way out.
Last little segment. I know we call you the Mayor of the Marsh, and if anyone picked up one of the doozy teas that we launched together, only rocket around, hottest thing in Australian MMA at the moment. But Jack, 3 quick questions. If you were to eventually become, you're the highlight of the life in terms of being the actual Mayor of the Marsh, what's the first thing? What's the first change to the town?
Well, fuck it. It's I don't know. You have to just be up with the times. You got to deal with the issues in front of you. So if I could snap me fingers and deal with something tomorrow, I would get Mattingly, Brown, Cole, the scumbags who own that, and they're in a dirty deal with the Andrews government to dump the PFAS soil out there. I would be putting a stop to that. But
looking after the Marsh, boys love it.
Yeah, and then second thing, I would remove the Royals liquor license until it's bought back by someone who knows how to run a pub. But down in the future, you just got to deal with things as they come. But I'd like to keep the Marsh agricultural, not let the chemicals ruin our farming and our farming communities.
Mate, that's a doozy answer that I thought I wasn't going to get. So, mate, well done. Lestrange, you come into the second here. What's Lestrange's role in the political campaign?
Slash the prices of the double fillet of fish, for sure. And then I'd probably something similar to Janko, make it legal to put a brick through the Royal Hotel window.
The Royal's got a bad name on the
Royal. Surely the Palmers are good at the Royal.
What's the go-to pub? What's the go-to pub?
Well, the go-to pub, it's a bit of a story, Snags. Look, the go-to pub was the Royal.
Tell the story.
The go-to pub was the Royal, and it was owned by probably the greatest publican who's ever lived, Rushy. And he looks like fucking Steel Sidebottom. He's a legend. Anyway, he did us dirty. He turned the pub fucking awesome, made it the place to be. Always good times, always good service, good food. And then once it started making money, he did the smart businessman thing and sold it. And he left us, but he left us in the hands of this fuckwit who walks around wearing AirPods while he's serving people.
Wearing what? AirPods?
Yeah, he wears AirPods. Like he walks up and like clearing glasses, talking to you, and he's got AirPods in, and you're just like, fuck, you're a fuckhead. And he's kicked me and Strang out a couple of times for bullshit. That's got nothing to do with it.
Janko's banned for life.
Mate, a couple of the videos that I've seen of Lestrange, I'm going to hate to see what he got kicked out for.
There's actually nothing.
Yeah, there's nothing. Janko tried to get in the other night, and he was genuinely disguised.
I actually did. I tried to get him with the hood on and the hat falling.
It was wearing an actual camouflage hat.
What's the pub in the Marsh? Usually a small town's got 2 pubs. We had the Hastings.
We've got 4.
4.
We've got the Border, the Royal, the Courthouse, and Stonies.
We'll have to have a bit of a Stony there.
Oof.
Yeah.
Stonies.
Yeah.
The Strange, what would be the title of you in the Jenko campaign? You'd be marketing manager? What would you be?
Marketing, yeah, definitely. Yeah, for sure. I don't know, hydration officer.
Secret service.
The vape supplier on nights out. No,
killing it.
To be fair, yo,
you go. There you go.
I was going to say when the PFAS soil dumping was coming, when it was coming to a head, Strang was one of the first people that was willing to put boots on the ground with me if it came to that. So he's in it.
Well, if you need the boys' support, we're up there with you as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Snags will grapple a coal miner.
absolutely.
Take him down. Jenko, last thing about the mayor is UFC comes calling. You're the mayor of Bacchus Marsh. What's the first thing that happens in the marsh after the first UFC win? Is it a public holiday? Is it a Bob Hawke moment? Talk to me.
Probably just a massive Sunday sesh at my house with the Strang and the boys. Probably just make it an open door policy for anyone from the 3340 postcode.
The cocktail maker out.
Yeah, get the cocktail maker out.
What's
Probably
the go-to?
What do you reckon?
espresso
Daiquiris.
martinis or
Oh,
strawberry
man.
daiquiris.
Espresso martini.
Talking my language.
Yep. He's on to us.
Well, he's on to us. Spying on the boys in Brunswick. Killing it. DL, you got anything else more for the boys?
No, mate, I think you covered it nicely with the boys.
Well, gents, thanks for jumping on the special edition. Lestrange, I'm going to talk to you offline about your own bloody podcast that we might need some content from, my friend. And, catch up with you boys. Hopefully soon. Janko will do the announcement, obviously. Everyone that's got a Janko.
Yeah, mate. I'll be in touch in the next couple of weeks. I've been training flat out. Haven't really stopped through this whole thing. So as soon as we sort of get a bit more of an understanding of when we're going to be out of this lockdown and we can start to look at maybe exiting the state to make a fight happen, then we'll do that.
Oh, mate. Boys are aroused about it. We'll probably be there, to be honest. We had our tickets booked for Perth, but we'll rebook them for wherever it is.
All right, boys.
Gentlemen, thank you for jumping on. DL.
That was episode 51. If you like what we're doing, please like, share, comment, or subscribe to the podcast. For those that don't know, we've just launched our new website, runitbackpodcast.store. You can grab our merch there. We just dropped another t-shirt, which is our locals only merch. So a few people snapped them up already.
I'm gonna be grabbing a locals only, but I do think that the next shirt has to be Stephen Astro Boy Erceg shirt.
He's calling it still.
Have you boys had Steve on the show?
No,
we haven't. We get him
Mate,
on?
get him on. He's a
That's
fucking legend, and he's a jet. He's a fucking good fighter. So get him on.
We'll have to reach out. Maybe you can hook us up with a connection.
Yeah. I'll start a group inbox.
Yeah, perfect.
That's episode 51.